Okay. So mainly in this mock interview, we'll mainly focus on the real time. Okay. The experience
Yeah.
level, real time. Real time interview questions. You can say that experience level will be around around 3 years experience. Module SAP MM.
Yeah.
Module SAP MM. Okay. So, what do you know exactly about any key differences as a support consultant? 3 regular activities as an implementation consultant. Any 3 activities? Can you tell what do you know about 3 common activities of a consultant who is working in a support project and also who is working in implementation project?
Okay. First, coming to the support project, uh, the main responsibilities getting the tickets by using any tool like a Snow or a ServiceNow tool, or getting the tickets from the end users, and responding to the tickets. So whether, if it is a level 1, level 2, level 3, so we have to see the priority of the tickets. Then we have to act on the ticket. In a fix, the SLDs defined actually within the defined SLDs. That is one of the main role. The second thing is if you have like any new enhancements. Enhancements means not very big ones, like new configuration changes or new storage location creations, or any smaller changes you need on the configuration part. So the support consultant has to act on that part as well. When it comes to the consultant implementation side, uh, the main responsibility starts, there are the different phases in the project. So the main responsibility starts from the preparation phase of the, actually in the preparation phase we don't involve much, but after during the realization phase, getting the requirements from the users, first we have to go through the business process documents which are provided by the users. Then we have to go through the documents, and then we should get the requirements from the users by conducting the one-to-one sessions or the meetings, regular meetings with them, and we have to gather their requirements first. Then we have to map those requirements with the SAP. And if there are any gaps, then we have to go for the enhancements. Okay, so after the business blueprint, we have to get the, so actually we have to create the as is process, and then we have to create the to be process. So once everything is done, then we have to get the approval from the business side. We have to get the approval, and our side also. So our with leads and all, we get the approval. Then we go ahead with the as is and to be process preparations, and then we create the business blueprint document. That is like a official document between the business and the IT. Then after that, we have to after the business blueprint, we go to the realization phase, where we configure, where we do real configuration in the system. So once that is done, we have to do the unit testing. So
Okay.
once everything is done,
Sorry to interrupt you. I think if the interviewer is asking you the question, what do you know about implementation activities? Okay, list of activities or implementation phases. Okay,
yeah,
if it is
yeah,
SAP methodology, what you are explaining and activate little bit different. So then you can
yeah,
explain in detail. The question is
yeah,
about any 3 activities in support and 3 activities in implementation. Okay.
yeah,
So in 3 activities in support, you can say like monitoring the open tickets, finishing
yeah,
tickets based on SLA, and
yeah.
working with ABAP for any change request. I think 3 you can enough. We have multiple, right? I explained in multiple videos.
Yeah,
Implementation, in implementation, the key activities that first understand the scope of the project. Based on that, discussing with the business to understand the current process and
Yeah.
mapping solutions in SAP wherever required, interface with other systems and
Mhm.
configuring in system. So these are three activities. There are many activities. If you allow me to explain, I can explain the whole process. Like that, you can
Okay.
have
So
it.
instead of going through the whole list, it should be crisp, like
Mm,
what you want to say.
yeah.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So, if you know about support project, okay. So, what is
Mm.
the difference between service request and change request?
Uh, Service request, it's like the regular request we receive, right? Change request means the regular request we receive from the users. The change requests are more on the configuration changes. It's like it involves the more effort and more time to do the configurational changes. Service requests are like the daily requests we receive from the users.
Somewhat. So sometimes what happens in service request also, we make little ABAP changes, a little config also. But based on the
Mhm.
company and the guidelines, what they agreed, less than 2 mandates, we can go for a service request. If the
Yeah,
mandates are more than two, then go for a change request. And few companies, 3 mandates, they keep it. Okay, to decide whether service request or change request. So in both the cases, there are chances a configuration
mm.
or program change can be done. Okay.
Okay,
There
yeah.
will be another category called incident.
Oh yeah, this is I know this actually.
Whatever your
Yeah,
explanation is
yeah,
close
yeah, more on
to
the
service,
incident side,
more
right?
on incident. Incident means
Yeah,
something you are guiding, something you are changing master data, something you are changing the transaction data. The,
yeah,
those kind of a things, it will be mostly part of incident. Okay.
yeah, yeah, right, right. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you know about SAP landscape?
SAP landscape, which contains the main three. There are main three parts. First thing is like development, quality, and production.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, within development we can have some multiple systems. Like we have a system for the configuration of app developments. We have like sandbox, unit testing. So yeah, you want me to explain further on it? Or?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. So, like in production, okay, if you get
Mhm.
any issues related to master data, okay, so how do you give the solution?
Okay. Usually, if there are any issues regarding the master data, for example, maybe I'll take up with an example. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. The user wants to change the, because the user wants to change the material type of the product material because they do not, if there is a correct material type, then only the IDOC will be posted in the uh, SAP. So somehow the material was posted with the wrong material type, then we have to change it to the correct material type. If the user, that is the one of the issue faced by the user, then they raise the ticket in the snow, then we have to analyze it first. So what is the first thing is we have to check with them why they want to change. What is the business reason for changing the issue? Sorry, changing the material type. Second thing, we have to see what are is it possible if there are any open orders or stock exists for that or not. Then third thing, if the material type, whether which they are going to change is same ACR as this one. So after checking the possibilities, whether it is possible in the first thing is first we are checking the reason, if it is a valid reason or not. If it is a valid reason, we have to get that approval. Actually, based on the user's mail, we are not supposed to do anything. It contains, the user mail contains valid email or the approval from the higher authorities, like if it is a master data related authorities or business process related authorities. If it has that approval, then we have to go for the second step, which is whether it is possible or not. Then based on that, we have to, if it is possible, then we can do. If not, we have to tell the user alternative for that issue, I mean, to solve that problem.
Yeah, we mostly give the solution to the users. Okay. So we ask them to change it and all, but we consultant will not make changes directly.
Yeah,
So
yeah, we don't have access in production.
yeah.
Yeah.
If they make, they use the firefighter or Power ID.
Yeah, yeah, that's another process, big process
Yeah,
again. Yeah,
yeah, there is a different things will be used there.
yeah.
Okay. So what do you know about transport request?
Okay. There are two types of transport requests. One is the workbench request. The another one is a customized request. So workbench requests are used by the developers, and the customizing requests are mostly used by the consultants. So these are used to transport the changes, configuration changes from one system to the one client to the other client. It might be within the same landscape or to the different landscape also. So for example, if you want to move the transport request from within the single landscape, like within the development, then you don't need to release it. You can just directly use the SEC1 transaction and then move it to the another client. But if you want to do it to the, if you want to do the movement to the, move the changes to the quality or production, you have to reach out to the basis team. So they will do the transfer by using the STMS. So before that, we have to release it SC0 by using the SC01 transaction. You have to release the transport request and send it to the basis team. Then they will move the changes.
Okay. Okay. For example, you moved some wrong configuration to a system. Okay. Generally, what method you follow?
So we have to do it again, because once we move the changes, we cannot, once we move the transport request, we cannot make the changes anymore. We have to do it again, cancel that and do it again.
Revert is generally it's complex, or we make reconfiguration, or if it is a program, we comment that coding and we send again. Okay.
Okay. Okay, sorry, Ganesh, can you please come again that part?
If it is a program, we comment the code and send the new transport request immediately.
Okay, so we keep the existing one as is, and then the changes we do it in a separate
transport. Separate transport. That's what we do. There is a recovery also there, but we prefer to do this reconfiguration immediately, sending the next year. Okay, whether it can be the fix of the program, or else for now, if you need time to fix that, then we take a call of whatever earlier we have done, right? That one we will remove and send, so that at least there will not be immediate impact or immediate delay for the business. Okay, they can do it.
Actually, is there any I mean, transaction code to call it back? Whatever the
for normal, simply you or myself cannot call it. Okay, there are some basis. There was some recovery kind of option. Okay, but yeah, it was mostly no, it cannot be called simply like that.
Okay, so within one landscape also, like development landscape also, if we move the changes to the another system, they cannot call it back, right? Am I right?
Yeah, generally when you move it, we send the correction only. Okay, we send the correction to replace it, because that was the like we will have a clarity, and also we'll ensure that what config we have sent, which made the issue, that one we are doing the correction.
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So like what do you know about function module, and give any one example in SAP MM? What is the purpose, and have you ever worked on that?
Function modules, you mean the program subroutines?
Just function module. Just tell that any one function module which we have used it.
Function modules. No, sorry, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, generally, like we
Can-
have a few function modules, which one you use to create. Okay, so create a purchase order or create material. Okay, so you can utilize to SC37 is the transaction where you can do the primary
Oh,
testing also.
oh, okay. That is the ABAP programming, right?
Yeah,
SC38 and
yeah,
37.
SC30, this is SC37. 38 is the
Okay,
program. 30.
okay. So it's basically nothing but an ABAP program, right? Function mod.
Hmm.
Am I right? Or it's a separate thing. It's a
Yeah,
program. Or,
it's a program like just available SAP standard programs which will be used to do that activity. Okay. If you want to create, I think we have few function module related videos on YouTube also. So where we explained about creating a purchase order. Okay. Create if it is a goods movement. Okay. These all like BAPI and function module are almost similar kind of things, but only thing is
oh,
BAPI can be used for calling from external system and all. Function module more into doing within SAP system if you want to do
oh,
any activities and all. Mm.
okay, okay. I think I did not go through those videos. I will check it out. Yeah.
Okay. Mhm. So like if you know about any kind of a form, okay, for example, you are working on a purchase order form development, okay.
Mm,
So
mm.
when you see the purchase order form, there are different fields are there on the form. Like how do you
Mm.
start which field is available in which table and how do you start your analysis?
Okay, I can go to the SC. Okay, if it is related to, I mean, you mean I need to create a form, right? Then
Yeah,
how can I give the
bu-
specification to the
yeah, business
user?
has given you a sample form. You are seeing different fields like delivery note, or else it's a purchase order, right? You are seeing some Incoterms, or you are seeing some payment
Okay,
term, or you are seeing
okay,
shipping address, delivery address.
yeah.
You are seeing multiple fields. Then how do you
Where can I
exactly?
find the
Uh,
field name and all? Okay. So actually the basic thing which I know is like you can go to the field F1 and you can see the technical name from their technical data, table name and field name. One thing. Second thing, SE16 and transaction. If I know the table names, I can go and check their field names. Another one is SE11 where I can see the uh, communication structure. If I have the table names, I can see what is the field name, length, everything, the details I can see in there. Yeah.
mm, okay, you have to start like it is a purchase order form. So mostly you have to focus on purchase order related tables. Okay, header EKKO, item
Yeah,
EKPO.
EKP,
So
right?
mostly those fields you have to focus and try to get the data. Hmm?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. So when you work, what are the different departments like in SAP? Okay, in SAP, what are the different modules you generally interact in any implementation project?
Okay. Uh, so first thing, it's based on the what modules they are implementing and what modules they're using. But in general, MM consultant will work. It has the integration part with the FI and SD.
Hmm.
Yeah. But if they have like if they are using the WM, then it has an interaction with that. Uh, so it depends if the company is using the other modules. Then we also work with the uh, them also, but mainly with the SD and FI.
Like, yeah, SDFI, we work with basis for any transport movements. We work with security team for any authorization
Yeah,
related things.
basically GRC related, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and work with the
Okay.
ABAP for developments. Okay, so
Oh,
these three
okay. Yeah.
mandatory. Okay, and any MM consultant, FA will be a mandatory one. And if you are
Mm,
doing any kind of STO or third party kind of a processes, you will interact
yeah.
with SD. Okay, if you're
Yeah.
working in a production company, then your production order, confirmation, goods issue for goods issue of component, these kind of processes, you interact with PP. Okay.
Okay.
So if you're doing any quality management module, where when you procure a material after goods received, the stock is going to quality, then you are moving to unrestricted, that process, then you interact with QM module.
Okay, so along with that, I need to give the few examples as well. So which parts we work with FI and which parts we work with SD. Okay, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So like, for example, in implementation, while during go live, okay, so they have some 5,000 materials and they have 2,000 vendors. So how do you, who will create those kind of things in production system? We are discussing a few minutes back that consultants will not have access and all, right? Like how these kind of huge data will be imported into SAP system, the production system for the first time.
For the first time, I think it's part of the cutover activities. So the consultant can use the LSMW to load the data, or they can use the IDOC or BAPI methods to load the data. So IDOC, BAPI, these kind of things will be done by ABAPers, like the open transactions and all. But when it comes to the vendor master or material master, consultant can do using the LSMW transaction.
So like when they do, like who provides the data and what is exactly the total data migration process?
Okay.
Can you tell what exactly you know about few points about that process?
Okay. So the data will be provided by the business. So during the cutover period, they start sending all the data, whatever is available in SAP so far. I mean, not the SAP, the third-party systems. So that data will be provided to us. It's not just one-time activity. We have a cutover date, right? The final day, until the final date, if they keep on creating the customers or materials, they can keep on sending to us. And on the go, we will add those materials or vendors data also we included in the load. Yeah, that is how we upload it into the SAP.
Yeah. Let's say first you need to provide the templates to the business.
Yeah,
So,
LSMW.
yeah,
Right.
what LSW or BAPI, whatever. Then the business will fill the data. Okay, you need to explain to them how to fill and all. So after providing, they have to check the cleansing, like any duplicate materials, same description 2-3 times they have given with a different material code. So these kind of things the business have to verify. So after everything was done from their end, then we need to have this kind of verification from our end, the data verification. For example, material groups, whatever they have given, all are available in SAP or not. All unit of measures are available or not. Purchase groups available or not. Because we cannot give any random, right? Material description and any text field and all are you can free input. But if you take this kind of a purchase group, unit of measure, material group, valuation class, okay, these fields cannot be given whatever they want. That should be pre-configured in SAP system, then only they can do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So we need to data validation. We have to do whether the mandatory fields are available or not. Then like you said, whatever the data they provided is already available, correct or not, available in SAP or not. Yeah. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Okay. So for example, you have created materials and all. Okay, like how do you verify it?
How can I verify it? I can go to the SC16 and I can see whether the material is available or not by giving the MARA table or mark if it is a plant, MVKE if it is a stress organization. Is that your question? You are expecting something else? Sorry.
Yeah, similar in SS16 we have to check the table, how many materials are uploaded. MARA table, we have to verify the cross-checking. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the way how you can verify the data and all. Okay. What do you know about golden transaction?
That is the first transaction we do in the SAP once we go live with the SAP.
Okay. So the golden transaction means, is it the really first transaction?
First transaction means we already loaded the data, right? But officially, we do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the difference between technical go live and business go live?
Technical go live is like once it's like comes from the consultant side. Business go live is from the business side when they start doing it,
Yeah,
entering the
generally,
transaction.
technical go live means generally our configurations and programs,
Yeah,
everything we moved. Okay, just ready for
yeah.
business thing, right? Then we call like a technical go live. So we can
Mm.
make any one or two transactions or something, we can do it. So at high level for that.
Yeah.
Business go live
Okay.
means it's more into like
They start using the
operation.
system.
Yes, yes, yes. Operation things will be started.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any idea about like implementation and the rollout? Okay. Can you tell any
Mm.
2, 3 settings which are generally we don't do in rollout project?
Okay. Rollout project, we don't do any client level settings. We only do like for example, we don't do the company code. If we don't do the purchasing organization, if it sorry, company code means, for example, if you are going like if you are implementing or rolling out the project at the plant level, like under one company code, if you are implementing multiple plants, so you already have 10 plants and you are implementing 2 more plants. So then for those 2 plants, the company code data is not necessary because these 2 plants belong to that company code only. So that then we don't create the company code data. The sort of client level data, any client level data also we don't create. So we create the plants and we assign it to the company code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is the
mainly like yeah, if you're doing plant rollouts, then a specific company code related one, client related one, okay, like material types, PO
yeah.
document types, these kind of things mostly we don't
Vendor
create
segments.
until the
Yeah.
business has a specific requirement. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
remaining things like if even pricing procedure, these all will not be changed. But a plan specific, like if they want any new purchase group or they want, or else the plant specific any new fields they want, and if they want to have a specific other PO document type which is not being used by other plants, okay, which were
Yeah.
implemented. So these
And
kind of
also
things,
storage locations, plant specific storage
yeah, there are
locations.
configuration at the plant, under plant to plant store location, its own shipping point, okay,
Yeah.
and its own customer. So these kind of things we need to configure. So that's the main difference between implementation and rollout project. In rollout,
Okay.
I think 60% of things we don't do it, and any
Okay.
localization. So the plants they have any specific business little different from other business. For that business, we have to provide a respective
Mm.
solution for them.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you are working for an ABAP with an ABAP consultant, okay. So what is the
Okay.
mode of communication when you go for a new development? What kind of document you share with ABAP to do the development?
Okay, we create the functional specification document,
Mhm.
FSD document, so which contains all the necessary information. For example, like who is the creation date, the change history, who is the point of contact from the business side, or from the consultant side, and the technical side, who is the point of contact. I think it varies from the company to company, but most of the time this information along with it we also have uh, other data like the business process owner, who is the business process owner, and what is the purpose of the business purpose, for what purpose we are doing it, and what fields and tables involved to design. So basically we have to give all the technical, basic details to the technical consultant, like the field names and the input which is given given from the users, like for example, if it is a form, what are the input parameters and output parameters. So all these things we have to give to the consultant, and also we have to inform them whether these fields should come into the for example, if you are adding a separate tab into the PO, then we also inform the Evapor that whether it should come into the any reports and all or not, so that they can create the Z tables for that. And also we have to inform them whether it should be come out in the PO so that they make the jet form settings. Yeah. So it's basically all the details we give in the functional specification document.
Okay. So what is the technical specification? Have you heard this word?
Yeah, this is done by the Evapor actually. He creates a technical specification based on the input we give in the functional specification.
Okay. After the development is completed, they prepare the technical specification. What
Yeah,
kind of logic, what kind of program or anything more into technical, they keep in the repository.
yeah, okay.
Okay. So, okay. So like if you work in the support project and implementation, okay. So
Yeah,
the high level like the landscape, transport request management, okay, and involving with business, all these things will be at high level. It will be similar, but in case of support, you more into the issues and the gaps you focus. But in case of implementation, you will be like scratch to understand the as is process, what kind of solution you need to provide, and what are the new developments are required. So like that,
okay.
it will be happening in implementation. In case of support, already someone has implemented. So if there are any issues or any gaps, and because of that design, they got some issue, then how to improve that design or how to fix the respect to program issue. Okay. Any
Yeah,
configuration where you can do some improvement. Okay. These kind of things more will be in support. In both the
yeah,
places, you will have a learning. Okay, and but in implementation, maybe the learning scope is little more. Okay, that's the thing. It will be that. And in
okay.
overall, like what you have answered and all those stuff, right? So at some level, like we have overall idea, like how the project goes and what kind of activities happen. Okay, so the more into the technical, like if you want to work on any kind of enhancements or any kind of tools like data migration programs and all, you need to know about what is function module, what is BDC, where you are going to use it. Mostly we don't in S4 HANA and all. Mostly we use function modules, BAPIs and all. As much as they can, you avoid any BDCs. Okay, so the recording, screen recording and all, because keep the screens will be updated so that this screen recording will make certain kind of issues. Okay, if you use the BAPI and all, and in case of any new version of BAPI was released by SAP, so
Mhm.
it will be adopted. Okay, they will update in a way that existing programs will not be impacted. Okay, with the
Mm.
older versions of BAPI or function module. So these are the
Okay,
things mainly you need to understand. And whenever you
okay.
work as a implementation consultant, what exactly the best practices which someone has to understand, how to communicate with users, how to understand the process, and what is the impact if I do certain kind of solution. Yeah, to discuss with other finance, and if they don't have any concerns after you spend time and design everything, then finance has a direct concern on that process. Then your entire thing will be anyway. These all brainstorm sessions we need to have with core our counter, like whatever that other modules which we are working closely for any business process. Okay, so
Okay,
these are
yeah.
the things you definitely have to work on that. And
Mm-hmm.
the process wise, once if a person understands his responsibilities and the sensitive areas, like where you certain kind of a configuration, client, you will have cross client configurations. Okay, cross client configurations, or when you go for a configuration, if you are making certain changes at the company code level, or else any client level chart of accounts, or you want to change certain kind of a transaction keys. Okay, and common purchasing output procedure is a common for entire client. So if you all are using the same kind of a one, if you want to make any changes, you should think that kind of a the basic logic is required, that comes from the knowledge. Okay, what will happen if I make these changes? Okay, so that kind of maturity levels we need to improve. And the sequence of the process, if someone understands that I need to do config now, I need to understand the business process, then I need to prepare the flow and explain to the business what is going to happen. If they have any concern that no, we cannot, what you call, without GR print, we cannot take to invoice. Okay, so we need to develop a form after goods receipt. So when you discuss more with the business, you will get more requirements, and according to the requirements you can plan it. Okay, so this is about
Yeah.
more into, I touch about the different projects and what are the activities and all. Okay,
Okay.
yeah, we'll discuss further. Yeah.
Okay, sure.